Enter the world, but tread with care. Those roots remember every prayer. Carved from ash, from bone, from flame. The sacred beasts don't play your game. Here change comes, swift on silver wing, with dragonflies that bite and sting. Truth flickers soft and sharp as steel, and every wound must learn to heal. Don't come armed with hollow lore. This world won't let you fake the war. For those who think they understand, you'll bleed the fastest by your hand. So read and ache, be torn apart. These stories rise from broken hearts. With grit and teeth they scream and soar. You've never known a world like this before.
Welcome to Dhampir Sins, Book 1 of the Sacred Beast series by Sarah Yuher. 8. Meetings. 17th of Anyagoni's dusk, 23:47 a.m. Kiran. The meeting with Lucifer and Ezekiel was scheduled for 9 o'clock at the 7 Deadly Sins. Kiran yawned as he made coffee in the tiny kitchen. Kaga had been on the couch when he had gone to sleep the night before. He had been awakened before his alarm by Lacey's screams when she woke up, and Kage was in bed on the other side of Kiran, snuggled close to the larger Dhampir. "Hello," his father answered the house phone on the second ring. "Hey, Dad, can I ask a favor?" Kiran asked, holding his phone with his shoulder as he pulled waffles out of the freezer. "Of course. Can you take Kage shopping for a bed?" Lacey was pissed when he got off the couch in the night, Kiran explained. "I have to be at the bar today. Your mother will be willing to take him while you're busy, and Adam can cover her shift in the kitchen with Rand," Oren said, and Kiran heard him explain the situation to his mother on the other end of the phone. "Is there anything else he needs?" Erin asked, taking the phone from her husband. "New clothes. He has some money, and I'll give him more to cover everything," Kiran said. After Kage's physical, he stopped at the bank yesterday and pulled some out for him. Maybe take his stuffed animal to the cleaners. "Oh, keep your money. We don't mind covering the tab to get him what he needs. Have you put any furniture in that spare bedroom?" "Mom, it's fine. I got paid well for that last job." Kiran knew that tone of voice. His mother never listened to reason when she brought out that voice. "All right. I haven't filled the room with anything yet." "That wasn't so hard, was it?" Erin said, and Kiran rolled his eyes, glad she couldn't see. "So, he needs a bedroom set, clothes, and his stuffed toy professionally cleaned. Your meeting is at 9:00. Drop Kage off before your meeting and meet us at 1500 hours for an early lunch at the mall." "Yes, Mother," Kiran said. After a few more minutes of his mother telling him his plans after he was done with the meeting, Kiran finally managed to get Kage fed and down into the apartment complex's parking garage. Lacey had left for work earlier, refusing to say anything to him. Still angry about Kage crawling into bed with them. Kage hurried over to Kiran's bike and jumped as the truck next to it beeped when Kiran unlocked it. "Truck today," Kiran said as he got in. Kage looked around the truck as he got in on the passenger side. "Seatbelt," Kiran reminded him, leaning over and buckling him in. "But I don't like them," Kage whined. "Too bad. It's better than breaking your nose on the dash if I have to brake suddenly," Kiran commented as he pulled out of the garage. The sleuth mostly lived in a large housing community on the city's north side, surrounded by thick forests. Deep in the forest was the lodge built around the red oak from which the sleuth took their name. On the nights of the full moon, the children of the sleuth would have a sleepover at the lodge while the adults roamed the forest. Deeper than that was the blood oak's place of power and the massive oak that their dead rested at. Kiran's parents lived in a large house that had been passed down from grizzly to grizzly for generations. The Ursine family could trace its blood back to the sanguinary lord, Ursine, whom Killian Lasser, the Wrath of Heaven, had cultivated. "You grew up here?" Kage asked, looking around the large front yard as they walked up the porch steps. "Yeah," Kiran said. Before he could knock on the door, his mother opened it and had Kage in a smothering bear hug. "What did my son do to your hair?" she exclaimed, examining Kage's short, uneven haircut. Kage whimpered as he tried to get away from Erin. "Mom," Kiran groaned as he attempted to untangle his mother from the incubus. "You're smothering him." Oh, I'm sorry, she said, releasing Kage, who immediately hid behind Kirin. She doesn't mean you any harm. She did the same thing to me the day Dad brought me home, Kirin explained as they all went inside the house. And I'll do the same to my grandbabies, Erin said, unashamed of her actions. That reminds me, when will you and Lacey give me one? We'll do the Wyvern song in Ravenized Dawn, Kirin said. Ow! He looked at Kage, who had bitten his arm and looked confused and angry. What was that for? I don't know, Kage said. I'm sorry. Erin giggled. Dhampirs. Always biting, she teased them. Kirin frowned at Kage but ignored it as he turned to his mom. Think you can handle him while I meet with Ezekiel and Lucifer? She waved away his worries. I could handle you when you first came here, and you always hid in the fireplace. And I've helped your uncle wean young bears that got involved in the wrong crowds. Kage will be fine with me. She frowned at Kage's hair. Though I don't think anything can be done for the hair you butchered until it grows out more. Kirin rolled his eyes and regretted it when she pinched his cheek hard. Ow! Sorry. Kage hissed at her and yelped when she put an apple that was in the bowl on the counter in his mouth. You know better, Kirin, she said affectionately. Go to your meeting and I'll make sure Kage has what he needs. It took a chocolate snack cake to convince Kage that Erin didn't mean him any harm and to let Kirin go to his meeting. This early in the morning, it was easy to find a parking spot near the 7 deadly sins. He walked around to the side door and didn't have to wait long until the Furian from before opened the door to let him in. Back again so soon? I thought you had a girlfriend, he said. I just love when sex Nephilim munch on me without my consent. Needed another fix, Kirin responded as he followed the Furian to Lucifer's office. It is quite the ride, the Furian said, fingering the 2 golden GRA in his Croyan fur. You married a succubus? Yep, our son just turned 10. Youngest with 3 older sisters, he said affectionately. I have 2 younger brothers. I couldn't imagine what it's like to have 3 older sisters, Kirin commented, yawning. And he's the only Nephilim of the bunch. I am not looking forward to his powers awakening. Is he an Aframale? Kirin asked, thinking about Kage's doctor's appointment. The other Furian shook his head. No, thank the gods. Incubi and succubi already have a hard enough time with people trying to exploit them. As a male, he'll grow like a male. Aframales tend to be physically smaller and weaker. Kirin frowned as he thought about that. It would explain why Kage was so short for a Luris of the Frostfang bloodline. Lucifer's posh office looked more expensive than Kirin's truck, motorcycle, and every weapon he owned. That included the caster rifle and the spell shells he had for it. I doubt even my CGH cost as much as that desk, Kirin mused to himself as he sat in one of the armchairs. He looked out of place in the upscale office in his jeans, boots, and hoodie. Next to Lucifer in his tailored slacks and no shirt, he looked average. Though, if Kirin looked average and out of place, Ezekiel looked like a turd on the carpet. The Alpha Dhampir wore threadbare clothes that should have been replaced years ago, and his shoes looked a size or 2 too small, and just as worn out. He ran a small convenience store in the West Side ghetto. All the city's Dhampirs lived there since it had the city's most affordable and broken-down apartments. They averaged in the 400 to 550 mira range. Kirin paid 2,000 mira for his apartment. Humans in the same building paid 800. Ezekiel's sky-blue eyes watched Kirin as he sipped tea from an elegant teacup that seemed odd in his bony hands. Would you like some tea? Lucifer asked, sipping from his teacup. I'd rather have coffee, but if you have some of that red bean tea from Kazahaya, I'd take that with some sugar and honey, Kirin answered, leaning his cheek on his fist as he watched them. Unfortunately, I don't have any on hand, Lucifer said as he looked through the container on the private bar. How do you like your coffee? Black, Kirin answered. The Sorarin Nephilim brewed the coffee himself with one of those fancy coffee presses. He then poured it into a coffee cup of the same elegant design as the teacups. The rich scent perked Kirin up before he even took a sip. He made an appreciative sound at the flavor. Didn't know a tea drinker could make a good cup of coffee, he commented. Pleasure is my business, Mr. Ursine. Whether it's in the sheets or a cup does not matter to me, Lucifer said as he sat. Won't see me complaining about this early hour if you keep me caffeinated, Kirin said, taking a deeper drink of the hot cup of coffee. "Why have you woken me up this early after having me hunt down a homeless Lurisrin Nephilim?" he asked, looking at Ezekiel. The Dhampir smiled, flashing his fangs. "It makes me happy someone has helped Kage. I was worried he would fall victim to whatever has been hunting my kiss." Kieran frowned. "You mean whatever or whoever took Maria's mother, Danica? So you know a little bit about what's going on?" Ezekiel asked. "Only what Maria said when I noticed her mother wasn't with her." "Why haven't you looked into it?" Lucifer asked. Kieran shrugged. "My grizzly hasn't commanded me to. I may be a Dhampir, but I fall under my father's rule. Going on a hunt in the city without his permission can get me charges with the Exagran government and the Shifter Council. My position as third prince won't protect me from that." Lucifer picked up a file folder and waved it. "But if you took on the care of a Nephilim that was victimized, Lucifer could hire you to look into the assault through Grizzly Ursine," Ezekiel finished. Kieran groaned. The Drake Hardy tale was a setup. "I apologize for that," Lucifer said with a bow. "The sleuth doesn't charge that much for a tale," Kieran pointed out. "Kage needs things. Clothes, medical bills, medication, and some basic education. Those Frostfangs and Winterblades are truly brutal in their handling of the demon blood in their family lines," Lucifer said, waving away Kieran's comment. "I could have done nothing to help him," Kieran commented. Lucifer snorted. "Aaron Ursine raised you better than that." Kieran couldn't argue that. His mother had him at the soup kitchen every weekend, washing dishes and helping serve everyone who came by for a free hot meal, Dhampir, Shifter, human, or anything else. No one was turned away. His neighbor, Echo, came some weekends. "Well, good thing I already talked to the police when I had Dr. Baker do the rape kit on Kage. Is there anything I should know before I head to the police station to follow up on that?" "We wanted to give you descriptions of all the missing Dhampirs," Ezekiel said. "Get me a sketch pad," Kieran said with a sigh as he texted his mom that he might be late for lunch.
"13 souls stolen, one rescued from the refuse. A man barely past a boy, raised by bears of blood-soaked oaks. As love grows distant, cotton candy tastes so sweet. Lust and love, what's the difference? The badger jokes and steals, the world sneers and scorns. Blamed for their father's sins, innocent hearts drown in Dhampir sins."